Kevin Smith, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah? We mentioned graduations. You had a daughter graduate.
Yeah, my youngest daughter graduated this morning. It's been a long day.
Bring closer.
So if I seem a little sleepy, I am. But
Well, Kevin, you were the person that we were denied so many times to get a house during comedy, during being a waiter, and then even after we did the RV thing, we just kept getting denied for mortgage loans. And we felt we had no hope. We were doubtful. We were knocking on the door of God like, yo, what is going on? Like, you've called us to start a family and to have roots. And we went and saw you at Oak Creek Homes, and you found a way. But man, so talk to me a little bit about just like our encounters and like what has that been like for you and that experience has been like?
well, I'll tell you, meeting you, Zach, was it was a blessing in itself. I mean, you brought an aura into my office. Just a genuine goodness, and I could feel it. You were radiating it, and I felt good about it. I knew that there's something special about you, and I wanted to help. You came into me with a problem. Nobody would help you, and I wanted to.
Yeah, and you did, man. And one of the things that I felt like you showed me was connecting people. And I think that when you're in the faith world, when you're in the world in general, but especially when you're in the faith community, it's like prioritize helping people through connecting them with others, because I think that's a very beautiful bridge that God has allowed us to do when it comes to community and when it comes to fellowship and when it comes to who he puts in our life. So I told him my situation. He was like, I got a guy. Let me call a guy. So like be the guy that calls the other guy for the guy. And like I feel so strongly about this because I've encountered people that aren't willing to connect you with that person. And I've been on the other side of it. Like Miss Annette, you connected us with Pastor Troy Brewer in like a really unique way. You were just like boldly invited him on our show, like when he was at church one day, and he accepted. And then you connected us in a group chat. And it was just cool because like that's just an example of like how when you're just obedient and you're faithful and you're able to like see the need and then find your best way to meet it, even if you can't actually like you couldn't give me a loan, but you found the guy that could, and it was like after being denied multiple times, you found the path. And I just thought that was just awesome because it showed that your heart wasn't just you weren't in it for you were in it to just help. And I just felt that right away and I sensed that.
And I think I approach my job every day differently since the day that you came in.
Wow.
I feel like I've been way more successful from doing my job with the intention of helping somebody. I want to solve a problem. Yeah. You're coming to me with a problem, I want to solve it. Money aside, you to take the money out of the equation, you're way more successful.
Yeah.
The money happens.
Absolutely. And you actually connected us with some also contractors that come out and help us like clear trees. And it was so crazy. It was like the coolest team. It was like a father and son little company coming out to like move trees with like an excavator and like big machinery and like clear a path. And they're all super smart, just knew what they were doing. And it's so crazy because I ended up building like relationships with those men that were out there doing that. And I'll never forget, my wife snapped a picture of it. There's one of the brothers that were out there moving the trees was like talking to me about the situation he went to, and he sensed that I was a pastor and a minister like from the jump. Like he was like, you're like he could just tell, and it was really cool. And he asked me for prayer. So on the spot that they're like clearing to set my house, this gentleman named Jesse asked for prayer over his daughter and his granddaughter that was on the way. And I just remember just praying and feeling the Spirit just come through, and like, God showed up on our house and just gave such confirmation. And it was just a beautiful feeling because it was like it all kind of stemmed through the connection of what you were able to do. And like this man got prayed over, and like I haven't been able to like see the fruit of that, but I know that the Lord have blessed that.
That's awesome. Yeah. I've seen the picture too.
Yeah,
I might actually have it on my phone.
Yeah, and it was really special. And it just there's just so many things that I feel like happen when you're just like you make time for God and you bring him into the equation. Like tonight we made this night like a Friday night about God. We marketed it. We have comedy here and stuff. We have good laughs and good times, but the real like don't come for Zach, come for Jesus, because that's what we're gonna be talking about, And it's just been cool to be able to like help you grow in your faith and like just be able to this was really cool. You keep my book on the back of your tell that story. That's really cool.
Oh, the 21 Days in Africa, he autographed me a copy, and I keep it in my office behind my desk, standing up on top of a shelf, the top of a bookshelf, and I had somebody come in my office and sat down, and after talking with her for about 15, 20 minutes, she saw the book up there, and she says, I've been seeing that book on Facebook or something, on the internet. And I said, really? Yeah, I know the author. I can get you one. And I called him with her sitting in my office. Hey, I need a book. All right, I'll get you one. Sure. And I think it was the very next day you drove one up to my office and even autographed it for her, and I called her. She closes on her house next week, by the way.
Hey, praise God for that. You know, that's a process. But yeah, man, it's interesting though, because, you know, we say like approved for a loan and we think like, all right, no big deal. But I don't think you understand. And let me unpack this for y'all. The season I was in of being in a tiny confined space, which keep in mind, we bought the RV to go on the road and like live our best life and to travel and like do all the great things, minister the gospel, you know, like all exciting. And we did that for 4 months. It was incredible. But then my oldest son, Noah, his mom decided to move him to Texas. And I was like, all right, this is amazing. That was like a huge prayer answered. Like, my boy coming here, like, let's go. I am coming back. I'm putting down roots. And it turns out I was just putting down grass in the backyard of my in-laws. I was putting down tire imprints is what I was really doing. And they were gracious, though. Like, they obviously let us stay there. We were like, you know, we didn't have to pay rent, which was a huge blessing. We can save up for everything we needed for the house. But it was just so hard as a man with, like, my wife was pregnant with Zeke at the time, too. And we were like, are we going to have this baby inside an RV? Or are we going to have to go to a birthing center? Like, what's the whole thing? And it was just, and that was right around the time I went to Africa, too. So there was just all this, like, honestly, inner struggle as a man and as, like, a provider of the family of, like, help me figure this out. And so, like, waiting for that whole process to go through, being told no. And, like, it all kind of worked out after, like, 9, maybe 10 months. But that whole time it's like, Kevin, I need you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, when you're so like, Kevin, what you got for me today? Are they moving the house? Like, where's the update? You know? So having Kevin in my life for that season was, like, so helpful because it was like the catalyst that set us up for the next, you know, honestly, it's probably the next decade of our lives to where we're at now in Alvarado. And it's a crazy testimony because my father-in-law ended up selling like a piece of his land that he had in Mansfield for the same price in 2 days for the same price at the acres that we live on now, which is like 43 acres in Alvarado, praise God. And we're able to live out there, and we have like a little homestead now. We have goats. We have a bunch of cats and dogs. I know you don't like cats, Alex. Have a bunch of cats and dogs, and we're just figuring it out. You know, we got a greenhouse in the works. I'm learning how to, you know, mow and do all the things, and you know, be a man a little bit. You know, I put in a fence. You know, put in a little chicken coop. No bigs. Like, come on. I'm a city boy to make rap videos. I'm out here in the country wearing John Deere and a cowboy hat. What's good? Come on, somebody. But so yeah, you were just a big part of my journey of getting to where I am now, to where I'm at my home, and it just feels so great. So I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. I feel like I'm blessed to know you. I mean, you make me want to get closer to God and walk with Jesus, and I think you helped me take my first steps into my walk with Christ.
Wow.
And I fail every day. I try to do it. I want to live a godly life. And used to, I'm a sinner. I fail every day. But now when I do it, I actually notice it. I recognize it and try to correct it.
Right.
I mean, that's a big step for me because I was crazy. I did everything the wrong way.
And it's a daily surrender. And it just shows, though, like, never underestimate, like, your voice for Jesus. Because, like, you look at us and you're like, oh, how could this young person that doesn't have a house, that lives in the backyard of his in-laws' house, possibly reach, you know, a gentleman that's, you know, seasoned and mature?
That's a nice way to put that.
And you know, but you can, you know, you can be a young buck reaching somebody that's, you know, seasoned.
Oh, I've learned more from you than I have 12 years of school.
Wow, praise God, man. That blesses me.
the value of what I've learned.
Well, thank you, man. And I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you sharing everything that we do. I appreciate you supporting us with the books and just being a friend, man. A friend in this time and being a bridge.
I'm glad to be a part of it. I'd love to do more.
Hey, absolutely, man. We'll connect more. So give it up for Kevin Smith, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting our YouTube channel. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. If you would like to see another short clip from this episode, you can do so here. Or if you want to see the full conversation, you can do so here. And make sure you subscribe on Patreon if you'd like to partner with us. You can do that at the link in the description of this video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Peace.